Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're here with Mountaineer golf coach Sean Covich, previewing the Mountaineer Invitational that returns back to its normal time in October this year. Coach, why don't you start off the call by giving us a little overview and preview of the event for Monday and Tuesday?
Yeah, thank you, Brian. We're excited to host. It's always fun to get to host a home event because most of our tournaments, 99% of them are on the road. So anytime you get to play at home, it's pretty special. It's always a little hectic. It's stressful making sure everything's there on time and the course is set up, all that kind of stuff. But this is we've been doing it every year pretty much since 2015. So hopefully a little, cut and paste and get it rolling. So I do want to thank Pete Dye, their owner, Randy Buzzo, general manager, Tony Kowalski, director of golf, Chris McGinnis. I mean, they're great to us, not only this week, but every single week. So couldn't have this tournament or really our program without them. So grateful for them. My assistant coach, Clay Bounds, who's doing a ton of work with our guys and tournament prep. And then also our administration for allowing us to host a tournament. A lot of teams don't even host; they just go and show up at other people's places. So we're excited to be able to host. But yeah, it's a good field. We got 12 teams. Obviously, we're one of the 12. But you got the 8th ranked team in the country coming in here, North Carolina State, who's one of the best teams, obviously, in the nation. You got Marshall, who's I think they're 37-6. So they played 43 opponents this year, beating 36 of them. So they're pretty good, really good, actually. And they've played in this tournament every single year. So they're going to be tough to beat. You also got Penn State coming back. They've only been here one time and they won it. And that was 2015. So they're coming back. You also got Maryland out of the Big Ten. And then Bowling Green, who won this tournament in 2017. So I mean, it's a really good field, probably, one of the best that we've ever had. And we're going to have to play well just to be able to compete, with some of these teams. So looking forward to it. And just excited to see our guys compete.
Okay, we'll take questions now. We'll go first to John Antonio.
Just curious, how do you put together a tournament like this, and how do you get the teams to get here? Particularly a team like NC State. What do you have to do to get him to come up to Pete Dye?
Yeah, that's a great question because college golf, they don't roll out, your schedule or conference schedule for you. You just sort of make it as a coach. And there's a lot of things that interest teams, but I think the number one is the golf course and the venue. Pete Dye is a top 100 course in the country. He's got a reputation for being, a tough golf course, but also just picturesque. And as a golfer, you want to play that type of golf course. And then in early October, usually the weather's really good here. Leaves are starting to change. So I think that attracts a lot of teams. But you're right. There's 10 Division I tournaments going on across the country next week, and they could have gone to any one of those, being a top 10 team. But their coach used to be at East Carolina before NC State. He played in this tournament before and understands how special Pete Dye is. And so I think that's the number one draw. And then we try to have a good time and do it a little bit different than other tournaments. Like let's have a good time and let's compete. And so I think the word's kind of spreading about that.
If you have a question, please use the raise hand feature. Go to Joe Mercado.
John, when you've got guys competing on their home course, do they have a tendency at times to maybe be a little bit more aggressive because they have some good mental shot pictures in their heads? And do you guard against that sometimes, or do you try to let the guys go as they feel?
I think the whole occasions kind of dictate what mentality you have going into each green. They know the golf course well enough to know, okay, this is a green light flag. Like I can be aggressive here, or this is a red light. I need to play pretty smart, conservative, one side of the green, or make sure I miss it on the right side. And so it's that course knowledge, knowing the setup, knowing there's certain hole locations you can go after and certain that you don't need to. So that's definitely an advantage for our guys. But, we've had it set up pretty similar the last few years. So like I said, a great team like Marshall coming in here who's played well. They've won a tournament, finished runner up. A lot of guys from West Virginia, they've played in it every year. So they kind of know the same thing that we do as well.
We'll go to Kevin Kinder.
I think we're pretty familiar in what you have in Mark Getz, but your other senior and fifth year, Logan and Curtis, what do you hope to get out of them in terms of leadership? And is that really the key to a successful team season, is getting, guys in the 2, 3, 4 spots to really put up solid scores?
Yeah, you got to have depth because, everybody has a really good number one, maybe even number two, but it's really your 3, 4, and 5 guys that end up winning the team a tournament and how they play and pick up each other when Mark or another leader has a bad round, which is going to happen in golf. So yeah, they're all important. They're all playing well. Obviously, Mark, gets most of the attention and deservedly so. He won this tournament last year. He's been a leader for us, done a lot of good things in amateur golf. But somebody like Jackson Davenport, who's just a sophomore, he's struggled at Minnesota, but I've been so pleased with the way he has responded the last few weeks. He went out and won the qualifier. Well, he tied for first, so he's co-champ in the qualifier, but played great. We just did a Ryder Cup, and I had to play on the team with him, and we got some points together. So just been pleased with his game, how he's responded. And then can't say enough about Trent Tipton. You go back 365 days ago, he couldn't even crack the lineup, couldn't even beat anybody on our team. And now he's, probably our second or third best player. And so he's done amazing things. And then, like I said, Logan Perkins, who's just, I don't know how to describe him other than he's a gamer. He's like that relief pitcher late in the game. Like he wants the ball. He wants to compete. So it's hard to keep him out of the lineup, even though he might not play great in qualifying. He just shows up in tournaments, and if you're gonna put your career on the line, you want it in Logan's hands, to be honest with you. And then Curtis Grant has been so consistent, and he's gotten better every year. And I feel like he's ready to win a tournament. And so he's improved in a lot of areas. And then we can't forget about our individuals. I mean, you got Max Green and Todd Duncan, true freshmen. This is a big week for them because we're going to take 6 to the Big 12 match play. Normally like this week we only play 5. So one of those guys got to step up and get a spot. And then you also have Will Stakel, who played great in Minnesota, and he played great in the qualifier. He's getting a lot better. And then Ollie Menard, sophomore out of Canada, who finished 3rd in the individual tournament in Minnesota, shooting a 66. So we've got some depth, and it's definitely helped out in qualifying, and going to give us a chance to fill out that 3, 4, and 5 spot.
We'll go back to John.
Kevin mentioned Getz. How's he playing right now? And have you seen the, with the way he played in the amateur and the way he kind of made a name for himself this summer, actually back through the NCAA tournament? Are you seeing that bounce? Are you seeing that parlay into the way he's playing right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you say like the way he's playing like this week, I mean, he would tell you he's got some stuff to work on, but he, golf goes like this. And I think he's in great shape. And he's more confident, more relaxed than I've ever seen him, which is great. And he understands, hey, you're not going to win every single week. Just put yourself in position, do the work. And that's what he's so great at, just preparing and doing the work. And sometimes you shoot 62, sometimes you shoot 80, but he's pretty consistent with his preparation, which is why I think he's going to have a great career, not only amateur golf, but professional golf. And that has been great because our younger guys sort of feed off of, oh, here's how you prepare. Here's how you make a plan for the golf course. Here's how you think about your shot before you hit it. It's not just rangefinder, shoot the flag, go. There's so many other things you got to factor in. And he does a great job, coaching the younger guys and doing that.
In your opinion, we know he's a good long ball hitter. What does he have to do to put his game in an elite level and to carry that forward on into the tour or whatever?
You just got to keep doing what he's doing. I think he's got all the tools. I've said it before, when I left the regional last year, it was the first time I walked all 54 holes with him in a while. And I left, I was driving home. I was like, this kid's going to play professional golf. He's going to win at the professional level. He's got all the tools, all the talent, all the shots. He lacked a little maturity in course management early in his career, but he's got that now. And yeah, I mean, it's just, you just got to get lucky to make it out on tour. I mean, he's got all the skills. It's just, can you play well at the right time? He can play with anybody. It's just, sometimes it's all about timing. Is Q school when you're peaking, then he's good. If he's struggling that week, then maybe he won't be. But it's all about playing well when you need to play well. And, part of that's kind of luck. But as far as his game, like I said, the mental and the course management, now it's there. It's all there. He's always had the physical talent, but he would tell you he made some dumb plays, trying to hit driver out of the rough and, go at certain flags and feel like he needed to, force birdie. And now he just sort of lets it happen. And when you hit it as long and as straight as he does, it happens a lot.
So you had a little tin cup in him earlier?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. And he'll be the first to admit it too.
Back to Kevin.
Two freshmen coming in. What are the adjustments that they have to make to learn how to play in college? I mean, obviously, going against stronger fields and things like that, but on a personal level, practice, balancing that with school, what are the biggest things you've got to help them through?
Yeah, it's really time management. That's huge because they're, like this morning we had workouts 6:15, then they go to class and we go to practice and you got study hall and then you got to, wash clothes. And I mean, it just doesn't stop. And we're one of those sports, the first day on campus, we're rolling, we don't ease into it. Our regular season starts first day of school. And so it's hard to feel like you ever get caught up. And then you have the stress and, pressure of qualifying. Like, how am I going to get in the lineup? How am I going to beat Mark Getz, who's a USAM medalist, or Logan Perkins, who holds a school record for, lowest round 62? How am I going to beat Trent Tipton, who's averaging 69 and qualifying? Like, you go from big fish in a little pond to, whatever the phrase is, little fish in a big pond. So it's tough, but I think they realize, okay, let me take the long view, not just, am I in the lineup next week? It's how can I be better next semester, next year, by the time I graduate? And it's great examples when they hear about Mark Getz, who hardly played any of sophomore year. We went to a regional without Mark Getz, if you can fathom that. And, Logan Perkins was out of the lineup pretty much his whole freshman, sophomore year. Trent Tipton was nowhere to be found for his first 2 years. So I think when they see that, they go, oh, wow, it's, I'm in a good spot. I'm actually playing well. And if these guys are where they are now, all I got to do is just trust the process. And so I think hearing Mark's, his sort of journey into where he is now, they realize, oh, wow, he didn't just come in as an All-American. Like you struggle, you learn, you have your ups and downs. And then by the time you leave, you're in good shape.
John Antonio.
Last one for me, and this is going to probably be an odd question, but if you follow my Twitter feed, I'm pretty odd anyway. What's the for somebody that would be watching this video that maybe is not a golf fan, that maybe wants to drive down to Bridgeport to watch this? What's the golf watchers 101 for coming down to watch an event like this and walking the course and real quickly go through that? What a fan should expect and to come down here to watch this match.
Right. Yeah. And we definitely want some fans out there. We encourage it. I mean, you got some of the best amateurs in the world playing there and best college teams. So definitely come on out. We have a lot of friends, families, parents, grandparents, uncles, girlfriends come out and watch. So there's two ways you can do it. I mean, one, you follow your favorite player and you just kind of walk along the car path and, you can also interact with them a little bit, nothing crazy, but, in between holes, talk to them and support them. Or you can pick out your favorite hole and watch a bunch of teams come in. A lot of people hang out on 18 or number 9, or maybe there's a par 3, try to watch some good shots, cheer on everybody. So there's a lot of ways to do it. Some people just hang out at Pete's place, the drink serving station, if I can call it that, and just kind of hang out and watch people tee off on one. So, it's whatever you want to do. You can watch somebody the whole round and follow them, or you can just have a nice ice cold Coke and, hang out.
I know for me, when I watch golf tournaments, I usually like to get in one place where I can watch 3 different holes and just sit there for like 4 hours or 5 hours.
Yeah. And and maybe you can learn something, John.
Right.
I mean, I've seen you play, so maybe you could come down and learn from Getz.
I need to learn, no question. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to follow that up, but Coach, I think that's all the questions we have today. Thanks to everybody for calling in, and best of luck next week.
All right, let's go Mountaineers.
Thanks.